Good morning, class. How are you guys doing today? Are you guys feeling well? Okay, that's great. So today, before we start, can you please put aside all your books that are not related to English? And we're going to start with a bit of an exercise to get you going. Okay, so everybody stand up. Okay, everybody's up. Now stretch. Okay, stretch to the front. Okay, wiggle a bit. Okay, are you guys energized? You guys feel awake? Okay, great. Now, sit down. Okay, fantastic. So you're probably thinking, Teacher Iman, why did you do that? Well, who was the quickest one to get up? Did I hear Adam? Yes, Adam was the first one to get up. And who was the slowest one to sit down? What is it? Okay, yes, and Hakim was the slowest one to sit down. So you're probably asking me, Teacher Iman, what are you talking about? Quickest, slowest, and what's on the screen? Superlative? Well, remember last week when we finished off comparative adjectives? Do you guys remember? Okay, what do you recall? Yes, that's true. Comparative adjectives are to compare one item to another. So superlative is? Can any of you try guess? No? Okay, it's not superheroes, it's not related to Marvel heroes at all. But first, let me show you something so maybe you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. In front here, you can see I have 3 trophies. There's a big one, there's a medium-sized one, and then we have the smallest one. Can anybody tell me what the differences are with these trophies? Yes, Alia, would you like to answer? Okay, yes, the one on the right side is the biggest. Okay, can any of you tell me which one is the smallest? Yes, that's correct. The one on the left is the smallest. And can you see that I'm actually showing a difference between the trophies of their sizes? I think that most of you have an idea of what we're doing today. So today, I'm going to teach you 3 rules of superlative adjectives. So let's get started, okay? Make sure you all focus because there will be a quiz at the end of the day. And there might be a prize also. So first thing first, superlatives are used to show the difference between more than 2 objects. Okay, can you all repeat after me? Yes, to show a difference between more than 2 objects. So basically class, the difference with comparative is you are comparing one item with another item. But with superlative, you are comparing more than 2 items. Okay? So today we're going to learn 3 rules only. 3 rules. How many rules? 3 rules. So the number 1 rule is with a 1-syllable adjective. Okay, a 1-syllable adjective. If you have a 1-syllable adjective, the way you change it into a superlative adjective is only by adding est. Okay? It's only by adding est to the end of the adjective. For example, you can see here, Chomot is the blackest amongst all my cats. So can you see which one is Chomot? You're probably sure that this one is Chomot because he's the blackest, right? Yes, correct. Okay, good job class. Okay, for the second one, can I get any of you guys to read it? Okay, thank you Alia for volunteering, yes. Bisha is the shortest girl in her classroom. Okay, can you see Bisha here? Can you see that she's smaller than the others? Who's the shortest girl in your class? Aimi? Okay, Aimi, so I guess you're the shortest one in this class. Okay, and then the last one, can everybody read together? Last night when I was stargazing, I saw the brightest star. So what is stargazing? Stargazing is an activity that you do at night and you look at the skies and you search for stars. So you were stargazing and you saw the brightest star. Not only a bright star, but the brightest star among all stars. Can you see? Okay, so that is rule number 1. So can any of you give me any more examples for rule number 1? Yes, Omar. Okay, Omar's example was, Lukman is the tallest boy in our class. That is correct. Okay, so what is rule number 1? Can you repeat it to me? 1-syllable adjective, just add an est. Yes, class, that's good, very good. So let's move on to rule number 2. Okay, rule number 2 sounds a bit heavy, but it's not difficult at all. It says if the adjective is a consonant, vowel, consonant, that means you have to double the last consonant and add est. For example, class, the word big, B-I-G, a consonant, a vowel, a consonant. What you have to do to change it into a superlative adjective is to double the G and then add est. So the superlative adjective would be correct, biggest. So you can see more examples here on the screen. Malaysia has the wettest weather during the monsoon season. So what is the superlative adjective there? Correct, Daniel, it is wettest. And can I have someone read the second sentence? Ayman, because you're in this class and apparently you have the same name as the person on the screen, you're going to read it for me. Okay. Ayman has just lost his cat. This is the saddest he has been in a very long time. That is so sad. You must love your pet so much, and obviously if you lose them, you'll be so sad. So Ayman is at his saddest point in life. So Ayman, are you okay? Okay, so that is rule number 2. Okay, to make sure you guys understand, can I get one of you to volunteer to give me a sentence using another word? Yes, Raja. Okay, that's correct. Raja said that I have the fattest cat in the whole entire world. And I really want to see a picture of that cat and see if that's true. Don't you guys want to see that picture also, class? Okay, maybe Raja can bring a picture of his cat to next week's lesson. How about that? Perfect. So let's move into the last rule for today. Are you ready? Is everybody okay? Okay, good. Okay, class. Who remembers in the comparative adjectives what you do if the adjective has a Y? Yes, Anita. Okay, that is correct. You drop the Y and add an IER. So if you read on screen, it is actually quite similar. What you do when you have to change it into a superlative adjective, you drop the Y, and then instead of adding IER, you add an IEST. Okay? Okay, so class, we're all going to read together since this is the last rule. I want everybody to read these 3 sentences together, okay? Let's go. Rachel likes to bring out her fuzziest blanket when she wants to stay warm. How many of you have fuzzy blankets? And you must sleep with it every single night, right? I got you, I know. Okay, so let's move on to the second one. Okay, class, together. Anit is the clumsiest student out of all her classmates. Just last week, she tripped over her own 2 feet. Oh no, she's so clumsy she can trip over her own 2 feet? Who's like that in this class? Who? Faraha? Is Faraha very clumsy? It's okay, teacher Iman is quite clumsy too. The third and the last one from me. Honey has the grooviest dance moves you will ever see. So now that I've done my part in explaining rule 3, it's your part to give me a few examples to show that you understand. So can I get more volunteers that haven't spoken up today? Okay, Sarah. Ah, that is correct. So Sarah said, my dad makes the funniest jokes when I'm with him. Okay, so can you all repeat to me what rule number 3 is? Okay, rule number 3, you drop the Y and then you add in a IEST. One more time, you add in a IEST. Okay, so we're done learning the 3 rules for today and we're going to jump into our activities, but before that, let's all recap, okay? So today we only learned 3 rules. Everybody, the first rule, rule number 1. If the adjective is only 1 syllable, what do we do? Yes, we add EST. Rule number 2. If it is a consonant, vowel, consonant adjective, what do you do? Say it again. Okay, you double the consonant and then you add in a EST. True. And then the last rule that we learned today, if the adjective ends in a Y, what do we do? Yes, correct class. Drop the Y and add in a I-E-S-T. Okay, so let's move on to our worksheet. So Daniel, can you please pass this to the rest of the class and make sure everybody gets one copy each? Thank you. Okay class, are we all done with the worksheet? Okay, so that's okay. Just finish off section A and section B, and section C you can continue on as homework. So for section A and section B, we can discuss the answers right now. It seems like all of you got everything correct, and that's wonderful. I'm glad that you guys all paid attention. So now we're going to jump into the game part. Who's ready for this? Are you excited? So the game we're playing today is Superlative Trivia, and there are 5 questions for you to get right. So let's see if you focus in today's class or not. Okay, first question. Daniel was deemed the beep boy to live because he saved his whole family from a household fire. So what do you usually call a person that is willing to sacrifice their life in order to save someone else? Hands up. Okay, the quickest one was Alia, I saw you. So Alia, can you please read the whole sentence for me? Spot on. So Daniel was deemed the bravest boy to live because he saved his whole family from a household fire. Don't you think that's brave? So let's continue into question number 2. Question number 2 goes, the sunflowers are the brightest flowers among the others. Is that true or is that false? For this question, I want to see a show of hands. Hands up if you say the answer is true. Okay, put your hands down. Hands up if you say the answer is false. Okay. So drum roll. And everybody, the answer is true. Class, let's move on to the third question. In this question, it says, find the wrong sentence. Durian is the smelliest fruit. Ida has the biggest heart. Ahmed is the oldest among his siblings. And Laila has the kindest soul. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Yes, Sumaya. What is the wrong one? C? True, that's correct. Ahmed is the oldest among his siblings. Why is it wrong? Yes, because it has a double D, and oldest does not have a double D. If old is to change it to a superlative adjective, what do? Yes, correct. You just add EST. Now question number 4. We went over this a lot of times. So I want the whole class to answer. Okay, so rule number 3. Drop the Y and 3, 2, 1. Yes, drop the Y and add R-E-S-T. Congratulations class. Now we're on to the last question of today. Superlative adjectives are to show the difference between more than 2 objects. I mentioned this in the beginning of the class. So I'm going to see a show of hands. Now raise your hands if the statement is true. Okay, hands down. If it's not, okay, what about the rest of you? Why aren't your hands up? Are you like in the middle? It's okay. So yes, correct. This statement is true. So that's the end of superlative trivia. Now class, settle down. I know you had a fun time answering the trivia, so I just want to conclude the lesson. Remember the 3 rules that we learned. Rule number 1, yes, add EST to one syllable adjective. Rule number 2, yes, if it's a consonant, vowel, consonant, double the consonant and EST. Okay, so rule number 3, the last rule, correct. If it has a Y, drop the Y and add IEST. So that is all that we learned for today. I hope that you all understand, and if you don't, you can always come to me after class. Make sure to finish section C, and I'll see you in tomorrow's class, okay? Okay. Assalamu alaikum class.